Welcome into First Pitch for Friday, May 12th. I am Drew Martin, joined by Ralph Michaels, Jeff Michaels, and Tokyo Brandon of WagerTalk.com. We are breaking down some big games on tonight's slate. We have best bets as well coming to you. Feel free to fire away any questions in the reply section below. Come join us in the live chat on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. Please subscribe and like this video. Hey, it helps us out with the algorithm, guys. So let's get into the games. Friday night, full slate here. Big card. Ralph Michaels, Stat Daddy himself, at Cal Sports LV on Twitter. Check him out, WagerTalk.com. Ralph, I'm seeing the Chicago Cubs and Minnesota Twins, little interleague battle here. We got the Twins minus 155 favorites, low total of 7 in the hook. What are you looking to do with the Cubs and the Twins tonight, Ralph?
Listen, you look at how well Smiley is pitching, and you look at how Minnesota has struggled on the offensive side of the ball, and you would think the Cubs should be a favorite here. So, nothing taking away from Gray. Gray's having an awesome year, a 1.1 whip. You look at what he's done lately, but Smiley's almost matched him. You look at Smiley's numbers. Smiley actually has a better whip on the season at .991. And let's remember, Smiley in his first game of the season at Cincinnati, he allowed 6 earned runs in 4 2/3 innings. So his whip is .8 in his last 6 starts. Now, in his last start against Miami, he did only go 3 2/3 innings. He gave up 3 walks. He had control problems. He only gave up 3 hits and 2 runs, but they did pull him. So he is rested here. He's not in a high situation, and I think he clearly bounces back. You look at the Cubs, batting .283 and averaging 5.1 runs per game on the road. Minnesota batting .167 their last 7 games. To me, I think the wrong team is favored. I'm going to do this, Drew. I'm going to take the bullpens out of it, and I'm going to go first 5. And what I'm going to do is, because Minnesota is such a sizable favorite, I'm going to go ahead and take the half a run with the Cubs in the first 5 and still only have to lay 105. When you're handicapping MLB games and you have a team that you think should be the favorite and you can get a half a run for the first 5, only laying 105, it's a situation I am going to back. Cubs first 5 plus the half a run.
Like it. If they're tied at the end of 5, Ralph's going to cash that ticket, guys. Good start here in the one hole from Ralph Michaels. Like father, like son. We're heading to Jeff Michaels here, guys. And if you haven't checked him out at WagerTalk.com, you need to. He was the #1 profit leader at Sports Memo the last month on those 5% plays. So whenever he's got one of those, check him out. He knows his baseball here. Jeff, coming to you for Big Game Breakdown. Hey, you're talking a big game tonight, man. The Rays and the Yankees here. #1 team in baseball, and the Yanks looking to reel them in the AL East. What are you looking to do in Yankee Stadium? Is the Yankees surprisingly here minus 175 favorites? I say surprisingly just because the Tampa Bay Rays, Jeff, I don't know if they've been plus 155 all season long. What are you looking to do tonight in this one?
Yeah, Drew, the reason I really had my eye on this game was because I thought that there were multiple ways to attack it. I mean, obviously that line's a little odd for, like you said, what we've seen out of this Tampa Bay team, but they're going to a bullpen game, and New York has Garrett Cole on the mound. And, I think here we got to look, obviously, first 5 if we're looking at the side and lay that half a run. But, I mean, Garrett Cole's been impeccable on the season. He's 5-0. He's got a 2.09 ERA on the year. And at home, he's been even better. I mean, he's only allowed 3 total earned runs at home in 5 starts, and he's gone 5+ innings in all 5 starts. So that really kind of takes the bullpen out of it when you look at the consistency of Garrett Cole and his ability to, basically go the first 5 innings without question at home there. I mean, they're 9-4 in the first half on the run line in his home games against the division in the last 2 years. And, he did just face Tampa Bay, and he actually got his first loss of the season. He didn't actually take the loss in the decision, but the Yankees did lose that game, and that's the first time that that's happened this year with Cole on the mound. So I do anticipate him bouncing back, but Another way we could potentially look would maybe even be at that over. If you don't like that, seeing the pitcher the second time in a limited amount of, excuse me, in a week period at this time. But, Garrett Cole's a guy that I can still back in that situation. And I could be looking Harrison Bader too over that hits, runs, and RBI number. He did it 6 in a row and he missed it last night. So I do like the Yankees first half minus that half a run. But I would be looking over here potentially too.
Yeah, good point. Garrett Cole on the hill there. Jeff, the guys in the chat box saying the same. XCal, welcome on in. Gavin as well. City by the Bay, some VIPs in here. Tokyo Brandon up next, guys. And we're going to have big game breakdown here, Tokyo Brandon, on what the Orioles and the Pittsburgh Pirates, another interleague matchup. What are you looking to do with the O's and the Bucks?
Yeah, thanks, Drew. Nice to be here. When I put this play out, probably about 12 hours ago, the Orioles were minus 140. Unfortunately, this has dropped to about a minus 160. I'm looking at this, and we got two pretty poor starting pitchers, Oviedo and Bradish. They both have WHIPs over 1.6, and ERAs about the same, about 5.6 for each guy. But if you look a little deeper to each team, I like to break down about 7 different categories for each team. The Orioles have a huge bullpen advantage here. The collective FIP of the Orioles bullpen is 4.44, where the last 10 days, where the Pirates is 5.03, which is just awful. Lineups, Orioles have quite a big advantage here in the lineup category as well. They're hitting over 307 in WOBA, whereas the Pirates are way below average. They're actually a bottom 3 team in the last 10 days in WOBA at 267. So I'm going with the Orioles, but minus 160 is a little steeper than when I put it out. A way you can get around this is taking them -1. If they win by 1, it's a push. Sometimes if your book doesn't have a -1, what you can do is bet 3% on the money line and 1% on the run line. That'll come out to about a -1 bet. Since the Orioles at home, I wouldn't advise doing a run line -1.5. But a -1 bet or a money line bet on the Orioles today is what I'm doing. I put it out as a 2% client play. I'm on the Orioles today because of the bullpen and lineup advantages they have over the Pirates today.
Tokyo Brandon, straight from Japan. He knows his MLB guys, former scout, and the Asian League baseball as well. Ralph, before we get to best bets, man, I see the pen up. What are you looking to get
You
after?
got it, Drew. Here's some shocking news. I went to the database while you were talking about Tampa Bay being this size of a dog. Okay. The MLB database goes back to 1998. When I look at teams from game 30 on with a win percentage of 75% or higher, so you can't be 4-1 to start the season. You're a legitimate 75% record like Tampa Bay is. You know how many times they've been a dog of 140 or more? 135 or more? 0 in the history of the database since 2002. No MLB team with a win percentage of 75% or higher after game 30 has been a dog of this size. So I went back a little bit, and here's what I came up with. If you look at game 30 on, so a legitimate record, a win percentage of 70% higher, and a dog of 130 or more. So I took the scenarios down a touch. So since 2002, there have only been 8 times that has happened. The last time was last year. The Dodgers with Tyler Anderson were on the road against Jacob deGrom and the Mets, and deGrom was pitching lights out. But those teams with a win percentage of 70% higher, game number 30 on, a dog of 130 or more, have gone 2-6 going back to 2002. So they're a dog for a reason. But again, historic as far as a team this good, this late in the year, being this big of a dog.
Man, that's great stuff, Ralph. And that's like right on the fly. You're finding that just because what we're talking about here on First Pitch, guys. So it pays to listen. And Ralph, just to be clear, like you brought it down a touch to make that 2-6 record, but the Rays, what their actual win percentage is right now, since 2002, they've never been this big of a dog in MLB.
Correct. The Rays are, I think, 763. I use 75% or higher. So the Rays are just a touch over that. And then when I brought it down to 70%, we got a few in the mix that filled in the gap since that time.
What does that make you want to do with this game, Ralph? Anything in particular, or are you just kind of pointing that out? Does it make you lean one way or the other?
Well, again, you look, and obviously the reason is the starting pitcher. So we have Cone. Right. We have a pitcher. Pitching Cole. I'm thinking back to the old Mets, right? And Cone. We have Cole pitching at a level. But you look at some of the pitchers. This was Mark Pryor back in 2005. Smoltz for the Braves in 2006. Burnett for the Yankees in 2010. Cueto for the Reds in 2014. Cervino for the Yankees in 2018. So what you're up against an absolute ace, Cy Young type of pitcher to be that good of a team and be that big of a dog. And again, they are 2-6. So those good pitchers have beaten those very good teams.
Do you think any of it is you're up against the Yankees as well in Yankee Stadium? A little bit of that kind of it brings a little bit of a betting bandwagon, or no?
Well, of the 8 times I'm looking, this is the 4th time against the Yankees. So it's been at Yankee Stadium 4 of the 9 times since it's occurred.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so that really might be part of the equation, man. Great stuff at Cal Sports LV, guys. You can find a lot of stats similar to that. I don't know if that good. That's pretty good on the fly here, Ralph. But he does bring up some great trends and angles in the sports.
I can tell you one thing. Let me just jump in real quick. I can tell you one thing because I know some of these players, and I've been inside the locker rooms, and everybody hates the Yankees. And when they go to play at Yankee Stadium, everyone knows they're going to be focused on, and players really get up to play at Yankee Stadium. I can tell you that from the inside.
Guys, we got best bets coming up. Ralph Michaels, Jeff Michaels, Tokyo, Brandon, I am, Drew Martin. Huge shout out to the live chat, guys. Everybody joining us live here. Looks like the new scheduling here, guys, for the time being, with the MLB slate being kind of a little bit shorter on Wednesdays and Thursdays, Monday, Tuesdays, and Fridays. We're going live here on the WagerTalk YouTube channel, 2 o'clock Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Then we're going to do an early recorded show for the days that have a lot of day baseball. So to get any day action out to all the listeners on Wednesday and Thursday. So let us know in the comments if you're liking this new scheduling, and we'll try to improve as we go along here, as we got best bets going now, guys. Make sure to check out the website. 5% plays up and available. We got NBA, NHL, MLB, whatever you're looking to do, it is available. WagerTalk.com. I'll start us off here. Washington Nationals. We got plus 125 here, guys. Mackenzie Gore on the hill. And I like this lefty. Young guy, throws hard. So I listed him. And plus the Nationals playing a lot better baseball, actually. One of the most profitable teams in baseball over the last couple of weeks. They're up against McGill. And McGill for the Mets here, their starting pitcher, he's kind of dealt with some control issues. I believe 3 walks in each of his last 2 games. So, yeah, totaling 6 walks. He also gave up 10 hits over those 2 games. Like fading pitchers, kind of having a little bit of trouble finding the strike zone. I do like it in the first 5 as well. So I split the bet first 5 and full game here, guys, just because we are on the wrong side of a bullpen advantage pointing towards the Mets. Mets have a top 5 bullpen by my ratings, and the Nationals a bottom 10. But either way, guys, because we've got to keep records here for best bets. I am on the Nationals. I bet them plus 125, but we've seen the market, guys. I sent in this play last night. It's near even price here now. So, hey, it is what it is, guys. Can get them as high as plus 106 on the WagerTalk live odds screen here. So that's the Nats plus 106 for my best bet. Throw it over here to Ralph Michaels. Ralph, great stats as always, man. Any final thoughts here for the show, and where are you heading for best bets?
Drew, I'm heading to the Washington Nationals for a best bet. So I'm crossing off all these notes you just said. Thank you very much. But there's 2 things I want to mention. If you go to my Twitter, I listed MLB records since April 21st. Guess who's the most profitable team in baseball? You said it, the Nationals. They're plus 10.4 units since April 21st. Guess who's last in baseball? The Mets. They're minus 15.6 units. We have a 25 unit gap between these two teams. Also, when you head to my Twitter today, on Wager Talk today, I did a first five chart. So I have every team's record season to date. I have what they were after 5 innings wins, how many pushes, how many losses. And I just want to bring up one example. It has nothing to do with my best bet. But the Boston Red Sox are 22-16 this year on the season. If you bet them in the first half, you have 13 wins, 5 pushes, and 20 losses. So instead of winning 58% of your games on the Red Sox, if you bet the Red Sox in the first 5, you have only cashed 39% of your games. That's a 19% difference. So I list every team, what the differences are, who the best teams are to bet first 5, who the best teams are to fade first 5, but you have that complete chart for every team in MLB. A lot of interesting data in there. So check that out at Cal Sports LV. Drew, this is an actual client play for me. I went with a 4% on the Washington Nationals like you. I thought they should be favored. What did I do, though? There's times, even if I think a team is a nice sized dog, if I look at their first 5 performance and I'm very happy with it versus the opposition, I'm going to go ahead and take that plus a half a run in the first 5 and lay the 140. As I said, since April 21st, we have the number 1 team in profit versus the team that's dead last. You look at the Mets as an away favorite, 1-6 with an average line of minus 164. They're minus 9 units in those 7 games. We look at the Mets against lefties. They've dropped each of their last 5 games against Southpaws, averaging 1.6 runs per game and only 5.4 hits per game in their last 5. New York has scored 2 runs or fewer in 6 of their last 8 games. On the complete opposite of that, Washington has had double-digit hits in 5 straight games. I did go to the database. There's nothing to say play on a team or fade a team on this. But in the last 4 years, only 39 times has an MLB team had double-digit hits in 5 straight games. So it happens about 10 times a year. That shows the kind of streak they're on. McGill, as you said, 5.79 road ERA, 1.87 whip on the road. Washington Nationals, I'm with you. I'm going to go ahead. Take that half a run in the first 5, lay the 140. This is an actual 4% client play.
Ralph Michaels, Drew Martin kind of lining up, correlated bet anyway there, guys. So great stuff from Ralph. As always, guys, can check him out here in the WagerTalk YouTube channel, wagertalk.com. Ralph Michaels at Cal Sports LV. We'll head to Jeff Michaels up next. Jeff, any final thoughts, man, if you want to take the floor here? And I see your best bet, a little late night action, a good one in the NL West with the Pods and the Dodgers. What are you looking to do tonight on the West Coast?
Yeah, I'm excited. 2 of the best divisions I'm talking about today. We went AL East first. Now we're headed NL West. And, I think there's a lot of value to be had on these Dodgers tonight, taking on the Padres. I looked at this game originally and I was slightly hesitant just solely because the Dodgers were 6-6 against lefties. But you break that down a little bit further, they've won 5 straight games against lefties. They started 1-6 on the season. They won the first game they faced against a left-handed pitcher, and then they dropped 6 straight, and now they've turned it around completely. But against those lefties too, there's something to be said about home field advantage, especially in these top divisions. They're 13-2 at home against left-handed pitchers out of the NL West in the last 2 years. So, they may not always be the most consistent team against left-handed pitchers, but the ones that they see, they've learned, they've been able to dominate, especially when playing them, at home. They're 12-6 at home regardless of the pitcher, and they're only allowing under 3 runs a game. So, they have been impressive at home. They have been impressive against lefties. And then you take into account that it's Blake Snell as the lefty that's on the mound on the other side there. and he's just struggled all season. And then you look at Dustin May, 1.11 ERA against this NL West this year. He's been impressive. Snell's bottom of the list. He's bottom 3 in FIP on the road out of all qualifying starting pitchers. And he's not the guy that's been able to turn it around for the Padres. They're just 4-11 in Snell starts after they lost the previous game, and they're coming off that tough loss against Minnesota to close out that last series. So Snell hasn't been the guy to be able to turn their luck around, and I don't think he will tonight either. So I like the Dodgers here.
Late night action for us degenerates. Friday night action there on the West Coast from Jeff Michaels. Last game on the card, guys. 10:10 Eastern, 7:10 Pacific. Guys, in the chat box, we got Professor Chris and Gavin lining up here. They like seeing the Mets struggle. We got a Phillies fan and a Braves fan. We actually got a Braves best bet coming up from Tokyo Brandon. But first, guys, want to remind you about the Gold Sheet, goldsheet.com. Check them out. Trends, angles brought to you by thegoldsheet.com. And it's the Angels and Guardians is the play here, guys. And the Gold Sheet liking the Anaheim Angels plus 115 as the short underdog. Actually can get them as high as plus 120 right now. Step up in class for Logan Allen after a couple easy starts to begin his MLB career. The Angels are a top 5 hitting team against lefties, and strikeout rate under 20% against lefties this season. Some stats there pointing towards the Angels. So the Gold Sheet best bet, Angels money line tonight at the short plus price. We'll throw it over to the other side of the world here. Tokyo Brandon, 39% profit since May 1st. So he's seen it well on the diamond. He's got a 4% best bet up for tonight. Tokyo Brandon, final thoughts for the show. And I'm seeing another good one here. Braves and Blue Jays, possible World Series preview. I don't know, maybe a little bit of a long shot there, but it could happen. Tokyo Brandon, what are you looking to do with the Braves and the Jays?
It certainly could happen. These are two of the best teams in Major League Baseball. And when I break a game down, like I said earlier, I look at about 7 different categories. And, these teams, a lot of equalities between these two teams, including the bullpen, almost identical. The lineups, almost identical. Form, almost identical. So these two teams are power hitters, power hitting lineups who have very similar characteristics throughout their entire team. But I did find one huge difference, and that's in the starting pitchers. So today Strider is going against Bassett, and Strider doesn't have a huge sample size going against these Blue Jay batters, but Bassett does have a huge sample size going against Atlanta batters, and he's been absolutely crushed by them. In his career, going against the batters in this Braves lineup, he has an OPS against of 979. He's given up only 2 home runs in 52 at bats, but they get on base a lot against him. A lot of triples, a lot of doubles, and an OPS of 979, which is just awful. So given the fact that these teams are almost completely equal up and down throughout the lineups and throughout the bullpens, we have this big of a discrepancy in the starting pitching. I really like the Braves to take care of business here against the Blue Jays. Looking at the line now, it's dropped to minus 160. When I put it out, it was minus 145, which is palatable. Minus 160 is a little steep, but the Braves are on the road. So if you don't want to digest a minus 160, you could lay the 1.5 here. I think Strider is that much better. And both bullpens should be pretty equal at the end, so they could hold a lead. You could do a first 5 money line as well, but that's probably going to be minus 160 as well. I really wouldn't recommend laying the half run in the first 5. I would much prefer laying a 1.5 in the full game here. So I'm on the Braves today, and this is also a 2% client play. I did put it out as a money line, but that was before it dropped to 160. So do with that what you can. I do have 2 4% plays out right now. One is in the KBO and one is in Major League Baseball. So you can grab those at my WagerTalk.com page right now, as well as a free play. But yeah, Braves is where I'm going in this one. starting pitching discrepancy is just too big.
All right, Tokyo Brandon there, guys. Braves north of the border. Just heard from him. Atlanta minus 160. We got Ralph Michaels, Washington, the Nationals first 5, plus that half run minus 140. I'm on the Nats plus 106 full game, guys. Again, Tokyo Brandon there. Braves minus 160. Jeff Michaels, LA Dodgers minus 130 in the gold sheet. Hey, sticking in the area with the Anaheim Angels plus 120. Slight dog there. Guys, check out Tokyo Brandon, Jeff Michaels, Ralph Michaels, WagerTalk.com. I am Drew Martin. Huge shout out to the guys commenting below in the reply section. Let us know what you're looking to bet this weekend. Best bets. Any questions, we'll answer them on next week's show. And all the interaction here on the live chat box. Guys, if you're liking the content here at Wager Talk YouTube channel, subscribe, like the video. It does help us out. Ralph Michaels, Tokyo Brandon, Jeff Michaels, Drew Martin. Thanks for tuning in, guys. That does it for the week. We'll talk on Monday. Cash those tickets.
A 7-day all-access pass is a great way to get a week of your favorite Wager Talk handicapper selections for under $15 per day. An all-access pass includes all plays in all sports released from your favorite Wager Talk expert, including any top-rated 5% plays generally priced at $35. Well, we not only made the 7-day all-access better this week, but we made it 50% better. From now through Sunday, May 21st, you can head to your favorite handicappers page and get the 7-11 special, giving you 11 days of all-access service for the same $99 we normally charge you for 7. It's like getting a $59 3-day pass and a $39 1-day pass for free. So pick one, pick two, or pick all your favorite handicappers and get their all-access service for the next 11 days for only $9 per day per handicapper.